Nottingham is known for being a city with lots of things to do and places to visit, so I was interested to find out one of Nottingham's very squirreled away attractions. Bromley House is an established library since 1816, which was previously owned by banker George Smith, who had Bromley House built for him and his wife in 1752, and it was labelled as the best built house in town. In 1816, the Smiths opened some of their rooms for a public library and newsroom, which was then auctioned by the Smith family in 1820. I was interested to see what Bromley House had to say.
The main difference between us and a public library is that we get no funding, so we have to raise all our income. So that's predominantly from subscriptions, so members pay to join, and then all the other income has to come from fundraising, donations. We've got a little shop, we have to find other ways of making money, so that's one major difference. We buy about 1,000 new books a year, and we get all the books you would expect to get in a library, a public library, so a range of fiction, non-fiction, poetry, all the stuff you'd normally expect to find. But then we also have all this historic stuff as well. So we've been a library since 1816, and we've kept all the books from those across the years that we've collected. So members can find some really unique, really interesting books that they can, almost all of them, they can take home. So that's unusual. And then we're in this brilliant building. So it's built in 1752 as a family home, a very grand family home. And so rather than having one big central space, we've got lots of different rooms. They all have different atmospheres. There's lots of different places to work and sit and read the papers, and we even have a garden.
Clare Brown, the director of Bromley House, shows us that it isn't just a library, it's an area for people of all ages to spend a moment having some downtime, enjoy their own company, or speak to others, with endless choices of rooms. I was intrigued to see what Claire thought about why people think it's a hidden gem. Let's see what she has to say.
It's literally hidden away. The doorway is hidden away. So you could just walk past it. It's not particularly grand because we've got shop units downstairs, and that's another way we make money, by the way. Those are our tenants. We own the whole building, so the ground floor has got retail. And in fact, we've got a bit of Nando's kitchen. They're also our tenants. So the ground floor isn't the library, and the door is easy to walk past. And then you have to go up the stairs and you have to find out about it. You have to work out whether you can make use of the building. And usually you have to know someone who knows it. So I think that we don't try to be a hidden gem. We're not trying to hide away, and we want to have a bigger public face and be more involved in the cultural life of Nottingham. And that's slowly been happening naturally. We're moving towards a place where we've got really good relationships with all the other cultural and literary organisations within the city. But just our physical presence hidden away does make us a hidden gem. But it's not what we would choose as our kind of byline. It's just something people always say about us. It's really difficult to choose one aspect. I think when I started as library director, I couldn't quite understand how everything worked, because it's a heritage site. It's a working library. It's got this garden. I've never had to look after a Grade 2 listed building, but it seems to have its own sort of ecology, its own microclimate, and everything works well together. So the members are really supportive. We've got about 60 at least volunteers who give up their time to do cataloguing, conserving books. They're tour guides, they're event helpers, they do shelving. They really are integral to the life of the library. So that keeps a lot of stuff going that I couldn't imagine how a small staff could keep running up and down the stairs and going to all the different rooms. And actually they're supported all the time by this really, really keen and very skilled volunteer cohort. And then it's not a museum. It's an old place, but it's not a museum. And I think that's particularly charming. So everything about it sort of smells of heritage, and yet you get new books, you get the latest bestsellers, you get people who use the library every day, and it's a really lively place. So that kind of, its natural ecology, it's what I love most about it, and was the thing that surprised me most about it as well.
So that concludes my hunt for hidden gems in Nottingham. Thank you to Clare Brown and Bromley House. Do you have any hidden gems in your city?